So as I mentioned, this is available in the web-based part of the platform for eNVD. As I said, we're seeing how it's being used here, and then we'll roll it out with the app as well. But just to run through a really simple example, what we'll do is we'll create a consignment, we'll attach the devices, and then see how that looks from a sender and a receiver's perspective. So creating new consignment, obviously the best way to do this, and you can articulate this to your clients is setting up a pre-existing template that kind of matches all the things that are common around their movements, and then they only have to select the individual details. So what we'll do is we'll select a template, and obviously also if you're in other states other than Queensland or NT, when you have an agent pick, you can ask them to put your agent pick in here, and then you get full visibility of this consignment. So you get everything that is kind of added in here and full visibility of that. So you can supply that pick, select it from the list down here, and add it to the consignment. But for this one, we'll just do a normal one. So we just add in the movement date, which is today. Sorry, I'll just select that. And then we can just go and edit the details of the consignment. So we'll just move some Angus steers today and put in the number with tags, no rumens. Okay, and then finally, we can tick the declaration, then we're ready to go. So once we can submit that consignment, we'll be presented with this screen, and then you can see that we have this new banner here to start that movement off the property. So all we need to do to add the devices is click on this button, and we're presented with two options. So if you guys are out in the field and you're doing a read for your client and you have the file, you can supply that file to your producer, and they can upload that device readout or session readout straight through. We do accept most of the session readers, and we just pick the information that we need. Otherwise, if it's a small consignment, we can bang in the IDs in here separately. But for this demonstration, we'll upload the file. And I'll just pick a file that will just call out some of the errors and warnings that we can present just for this demonstration. So we add the file, and then the next step. And what this has done is it's checked against the NLIS database and playing back a few things here. First of all, we can call out if you add more devices than is on the consignment, we'll call it out, and we'll say that you've added a different number of devices. So in this instance, the eNVD's got 19, but we've added 21 devices. So we can call that out as a warning. Moving down, we can see the list of devices that have been added to the consignment. And this first one here is just telling you that it's an invalid ID. So it might be a bad read, or there's been some other type of device added in that session. So we can call that out. If it doesn't find it in the database, it'll call it out as an invalid ID. The second warning here is the one that I mentioned before that you guys might be interested in, is it's calling out that this device that's been added to the consignment is not on the from pick. So what that means is that potentially the transfer onto the pick hasn't happened correctly. And if it then transfers off the pick, then that lifetime traceability of that device is affected. So we're calling that out before the consignment takes place, and you have an opportunity to resolve that. The third one here is with clients, if they have multiple species, and we can call it out if the species that's been added to the consignment is different to what the eNVD says as well. So hopefully that gives you a bit of a flavour of some of the checks that we can do. So if we then switch over from a receiver's perspective, what I'll do is I'll just change profiles to the receiver. And what you can see is we can see it as an incoming consignment. And here we can see that we're calling out that the devices have been added by the sender. And every step in the journey, there'll be some small tool tips presented to the users so they can understand what's going on. So if we want to have a look at what the devices have been added, we have a menu option here. And if we click on view the devices, there's a couple of things that I want to call out here. We can see the errors and the warnings that are presented that we saw from a sender's perspective. But the most important thing is if your clients are using it as the LPA profile, um, to do anything with this consignment, to do the movement, they need to switch to their NLIS account that they have linked. If they haven't had them linked, there's plenty of collateral on the IC site to do that, or there's a quick link in here to guide them through that. If they don't have their NLIS account linked, they won't be able to do the movement or edit any of the details on here. So you can see that these options are kind of grayed out for the user and not allowing them to do it. So what does that mean in practice? We'll go back to consignments. I'll switch the profile to the NLIS ID. So if they have them linked, it's clearly articulated between what is an LPA one and what is an NLIS one. So when we switch to the NLIS account that's been linked, you'll see the same information, but some slightly different options available. So you can see here that we've got the option to complete the NLIS movement. So if I click into that, you can see the same errors are still presented, but we have options to edit and edit the information here. So if this if the information provided is a little bit different to what the consignment that's turned up on the property, we have an option to replace those devices. Also, the receiver, even if the sender hasn't added the devices, they can also add them here at this point as well and do the move onto the PIC. So, as a receiver, you can do either. So just to show you how to replace the devices, same pattern that comes back, you'll be able to upload a file. So if you've got a different read as those animals have come onto the property, we can choose that readout. And for this instance, I'll just pick one that's nice and clean. Again, it does the same check back to NLIS and does some kind of checks there. We can see that we've still got this one around the wrong species, so we can get rid of that from the consignment by deleting it. And then all you need to do to move it onto your PIC is to select this option here. So as soon as you do that, it does exactly what you would do within NLIS. It does a P2P movement. You'll get the same notifications coming out from NLIS saying that the movement has been requested and then subsequently actioned. And then if we go back to the home, we can go in and have a look and see if there's you can get more details about that. So if we look at looking at the movement, we can see that it's been complete. And then if we go into view details, we'll be able to see the upload ID. So if you need to go back into NLS and check that upload ID, you've got that reference now. We'll play back the move, the from and to, the number of devices, and then there's also a quick link into NLIS if that's if you want to do that as a quick action into that.